What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and Leon Edwards is finally back to take on Jack Della Maddalena in March at UFC London. And to be honest, I wasn't really expecting this matchup. I thought that JDM was probably going to take on Kamaru Usman, and Leon Edwards is going to fight Sean Brady at UFC London. We've seen Sean Brady go out there and call out Leon Edwards, but now it seems like Kamaru Usman is going to be taking on Sean Brady. And now we got Leon versus JDM. But this is a great fight, and I think Leon can win this fight early. I thought that, JDM is a tough matchup for a lot of guys in this weight class, including Leon Edwards. But I think Leon has the skills to beat JDM. But Leon Edwards also has the skills to beat Belal Muhammad, but he didn't beat him. And I feel like this is a problem with Leon Edwards. He's arguably got the skills to beat everyone in this weight class, but when it comes to the fight, it seems like I don't know what happens. It seems like he throws his IQ out the window. He throws his IQ out the cage because he does things that make no sense. And he can win fights, but it seems like I don't know. It's very hard to explain, but like the guy is talented. He's got the skills, but he just doesn't really do that much in fights. He just kind of lets a fight slip out of his hand. Like even against Kobe Covington, a guy who talked about his dead father, Leon threw like 50 strikes in that whole fight. He didn't do anything. He just was just like throwing feints, throwing one kick at a time, one strike at a time, no combinations, no nothing. He went for a few takedowns, but he didn't really do much, and I feel like that's very dangerous when you're going up against the guys in the top of the division. And I feel like this could actually cost him against JDM because firstly, Leon, he does have some good kicks, but the thing is, Belal Muhammad was able to march from kickboxing range to boxing range with no problem against Leon. Kamaru Usman, he was able to do the same thing in their second fight in the trilogy because he had been knocked out. He had to respect Leon, but outside of that, Leon doesn't really have any real means of making his opponents respect him, so they don't just pressure him to the fence very easily. Like against Usman, like I said, Usman had been knocked out, so Usman was forced to respect Leon because he didn't want to get knocked out again. But guys who don't really have that respect for him, they can just walk him down like Belal and Usman in the second fight. And JDM, you're gonna have to find a way to earn his respect, make him back away from you, and make him think twice about just pressuring you. And that's one thing that's missing in Leon's game, and that I feel like that is a boxing issue because we've seen the kicks from Leon, we've seen the Muay Thai from Leon, but that's two different ranges. First of all, like the Muay Thai, like the clinch stuff, that's in very close range, and then the kicking range is the longest range, but then there's the thing that's in between that, and it's the boxing range. If you're not able to keep your opponent away from your boxing range with your hands, you're not going to be able to stop them from, getting in real close to you and like hitting you with shots or taking you down when they back up against the fence. So I think, Leon, for this fight, he should have definitely been working on his boxing, and that gives me confidence. But then again, he should have been really working on his grappling versus, guys like Belal, and he didn't do too bad, but he still got taken down without too much resistance. And the fact that he was very stationary made those takedowns a lot easier. And if you stand stationary against a guy like Jack Della Maddalena, you're not going to get picked up and slammed on your head. You're just going to get dropped and hit the canvas pretty hard. And also, Leon, I hope he's been working on his just defense, because that guard he has, that's kind of like an inverse Philly shell where he keeps his elbow high and his backhand glued to his face. Like, we've seen Belal Muhammad be able to rock you with an uppercut in that guard, and that leaves your body wide open to be hit. And Jack Della Maddalena is known for attacking you to the head and body with his boxing combinations. And as the fight goes on, Leon Edwards is going to have to be careful with those counter shots from JDM, because he's going to hit you with a counter punch, and then he's going to swarm you with a combination. And we know Leon Edwards kind of likes to stay stationary at times. He kind of just accepts those bad positions at times, and that's why we have his coach, being like,
"Come on, son! Come on, Leon, man!"
And also, one thing I like that Leon does pretty well is sometimes when he's under a lot of pressure, he'll clinch his opponents. And this is something that many boxers do and many kickboxers do. They will clinch their opponent to kind of get the referee to reset the action. And in MMA, you don't really want to do this too much because there's guys that are going to be trying to take you down. But in this fight, I actually don't mind seeing Leon go to this. Like, this is a good defensive move to get your opponent away from you and kind of slow down the action and break their rhythm. And yeah, like I said, JDM isn't going to be shooting takedowns on Leon. If anything, Leon is going to be attempting to take JDM down. So I like this for Leon. But the only thing is that I don't want to see him really reach at the top of the head of JDM, maybe like dip down to your side and then go into a body lock. Because when you reach, you can get clipped around, or you can get clipped with uppercuts or just straight shots down the middle, and that leaves vulnerable to getting hit, and you could potentially get KO from that. But Leon does have some strengths that he needs to amplify in this fight. Firstly, his kicks. I think that JDM is mainly like a southpaw, but he will switch to the orthodox stance. So the leg kicks, the calf kicks are going to be Leon Edwards' best friend. He usually, when he goes for kicks, he targets like the thigh, but I think it would be a lot more effective for him to slow down JDM with the calf kicks. If you take away, his calf, it's going to be way harder for him to generate power, for him to just constantly just push you back. And then you can, implement your own game plan on him. And, there was 2 fights where Leon was going forward and he did really well. And that was against Bilal in their first fight and then against Colby Covington. And I think in this fight, he's going to need to do that because he gets too comfortable along the fence to the point where he doesn't even move. His feet are stuck in mud, and he cannot afford to do that against a guy who thrives when his opponent is on the fence like that. Also, if Leon is able to get JDM to think about striking, get him thinking about exchanging, shoot for a takedown. You got the grappling advantage. You're able to take down and reverse Bilal Muhammad multiple times during the fight. So I'm pretty sure you can do it against JDM, a guy who has shown a weakness on the ground in previous fights. So exploit that. But to be honest, I thought Leon was, going to win. But looking at this fight, I feel like JDM is going to win. I think he's going to be able to pressure him, cut him off against the fence, and unleash some combinations. And I don't know, Leon's he doesn't really have that finishing threat. Yes, he did get that headshot over Usman, but I think he's going to struggle to keep JDM off him, and JDM is going to do some damage and maybe even get a stoppage here. But I wonder if the coach's, rocky speech is going to work this time, though. Hopefully, he doesn't need it because that is kind of getting old.
You want me to stop this fucking fight? Well, you fucking go and win this last round. You got to stop him, Leon.